Hello, 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 everybody. So, just getting started here for those of you that let's see, there may be a couple of you waiting there. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Um, for those that are watching this on a recorded, welcome. On the 28th, this is the full moon day. This is actually a hyper full moon. If you don't know what that means, it means that a lot of the planets, there's several planets, and I'll go into those as far as meeting up at the same time as the full moon. They're not going to meet at the exact same time, but they're meeting on the same day. So this creates a hyper energy. So that's what that means. And we'll go through that. So for those of you first timers, welcome. I appreciate it that you stop in. The way that I do my full moon readings is that I'll explain a little bit what's going on with the full moon and how that energy is actually affecting other planets and the planets affecting the full moon. I'll discuss some of the energies that actually are going to happen after the full moon. And then I'll go into a reading for the full moon. So with that, we'll just get started. So I try to keep them short. However, sometimes you're very welcome to ask questions. If you're watching this live, you're very welcome to interact. Tell me where you're from. Love to see where my viewers are coming from, because it can be a little bit confusing, especially learning astrology. I'm learning just like a lot of people, but I've been learning for a while, so it's actually very, very interesting because you'll hear talk about squares and trines and sextiles and all that kind of stuff. But I try to keep it basic for you guys just to hear some of the basics. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to start a little bit backed up from the full moon because the energies of the planets that were coming up to the full moon sort of play into what's happening right now. If you remember the new moon, Venus squared Capricorn at that time, and it was really sort of chaotic. That would be around the 20th. Okay, so that would be if you were here in the United States during election time, that was a very stressful time. The energies were bouncing off the walls. People were uncertain if anything was going to happen with the inauguration, those kind of things. That's the typical energies. What that is like a disorder. A disorder of things. And when I mean disorder, that doesn't mean disorder is a bad thing. Disorder is actually when a complex system breaks down, and that could be financial, that could be education, that could be political, that could be all that kind of stuff. And this is what's happening until 2026. We're going through a deconstruction phase of the world per se. We're going through a reset. So around the 20th, with that new moon energy, we actually had some of our systems break down. However, what's happening when things break down, we're trying to create a more simplistic system. So it's sort of like if technology gets so high that we want to have something stop it and then reset it, and then let's break it down to the simple. It's sort of like in sales. I used to be in sales, and we used to say break it down to the ridiculous. So like if somebody who wants to sell you something, they'll break it down to the day. Well, how much are you spending a day? Like for coffee, so you spend $5 on a coffee. Okay, how much are you spending on a day or on a week or a month? How much are you spending? That kind of thing, breaking it down to the ridiculous. Well, that's what the energies are doing when the system is so broken that it's cleaning it out and then it's resetting. So it's trying to reset to bring it back to simplicity again. So that's what's happening with the earth. Actually, things are breaking down because it's saying, okay, we're going to, break it down to the simple. So that's what was happening with the new moon. That was back around the 20th. I can't remember the date of it. I've gone through so much. So we're going to jump to the 25th. So because the moon that we're in right now, this new moon, was on the 25th, was moving into Cancer. Okay. Now this full moon that we are at today is full moon in Leo. And I'll share with you here in a second what that's all about. But the full moon or the moon moving into Cancer was a very protective very, very protective. It had a lot of anger in it. It was holding back its tongue. So during that time, a lot of people might be not wanting to say something, but they didn't. So that's where that energy of Cancer was coming in with the moon. Right now we're in Leo. So today, where Leo's energy is being super hyperactive, it's going to bring some anxiety to your day or weeks or a few, and that's not a bad anxiety. Again, remember back to disorder. Things are actually kerfuffled a little bit because we're actually trying to figure things out to simplify our lives, right? So maybe you're trying to simplify something in your life because the energies, let me just read this for you because I wouldn't remember it all. So today at 11:16, we're at 11:16 here in a few minutes, we are actually the full-blown full moon. Okay. But then what happens after that is about 11:38, we have an opposition to Jupiter at 11:38. Then we have the moon, we're opposing Jupiter. Then we have it opposing Saturn at 3:40. And then we have it opposing or squaring with Uranus and Mars. So you've got all these energies of all these different planets just sort of like all coming to a peak. And so what that is doing, that is being a hyperactive. So if you're feeling a little bit like, you just can't seem to get your anxiety under control, or you feel like you're really irritable, those kind of things could be happening because we've got all these energies bouncing off. However, if you're looking at the full moon in Leo is really a cool full moon. It really is. It has a lot of positiveness to it, even though it's sort of going through a transition, sort of think of it as a butterfly kind of a thing. It's going through this hyperactivity. It's a little like a nervous energy. However, on the flip side of that with Leo, now Leo is actually about leadership, creativity, and also the main thing, heart. So this is, as you guys hear me talk about this in my readings, is February is a heart month. It is if you look at human behavior, it's actually the mating season for the human race. Is that the mid-February? That's probably why they picked that. However, I don't know how they picked February the 14th for Valentine's. I don't believe in that. It's the whole month. But it's also March and part of April. So that's just our human behavior is our physical and connections, attractions, our pheromones, and all that kind of stuff. This is the time where that is. So I call it the love month. And that is, Leo is the heart. So we look at the heart of things with this full moon. A lot of it has to do is where your thinking process is coming from. Leo is of the moon with the Leo. There's a lot of leadership there. There's a lot of where you're anchoring yourself in this full moon, and for February actually. So you have to look at, okay, am I anchoring myself in nervous energy, that hyper intensive energy, that distraction kind of energy? Am I, anchoring myself in leadership? Am I really trying to take lead of my life or whatever, my career or my emotions? And I say that, thank you. So the divine saying, control your emotions. Don't let your emotions control you. Control your heart. Don't let your heart control you, in a sense, because what happens is then we sort of get ourselves into a situation we don't want to. But so we have to find out where or is your heart anchored? Are you anchoring yourself in creativity? Is this your month to start thinking about if you like to write, maybe beginning to write? If you write music, if you want to tell your story, some of the signs is a lot about storytelling. This is a really storytelling time. This is a really, really good thing. However, what we have to remember is we are going into Aquarian energy on the 2021. Excuse me. And running Aquarian energy is a forward movement energy, but it is also about the mind. The Aquarian energy is also about getting to your higher power, your higher mind, how you're resonating with your higher self. And that is a lot of curiosity for a lot of people because this year, 2021, the card is the Hierophant. So with the full moon, we've got all these energies of not only of leadership and heart and creativity. We also have to remember that it is a kerfuffle. This is a really hard time because it's a very heavy time, a heavy energy, because we're then having to look at reality versus illusion. So a lot of the times we want to look at objective reality versus subjective reality. What is real and what seems to be real. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense to somebody. So whatever your reality is, finding out where that reality is based from. So a lot of people go and they say, well, whatever it is, like whatever I see, I believe in that. Well, you have to really step back. This is full moon, and these energies through the end of the month and into February, this is a time for you to question your reality, question where your truth is coming from, question all that. That is the full moon energy. Now, there's a lot of play. I'm not going to go into all the planets that are in square or trine or all that kind of stuff. However, Venus is the energy of love, of course, and there's a lot going on with Venus. There's a lot going on with Uranus. There is a lot happening between not only these planets, but the sun, the moon, and Jupiter and Saturn. And all these planets, if you don't understand astrology, have sort of a personality when we look at it, because we'll say the moon is in Leo. Okay, well, there's the moon's in Leo, then there's energies towards that personality. If the moon's in Capricorn, there's energies towards that. However, Capricorn is like a past energy that we need to sort of release, which you hear me say a lot in the readings. So when we want to look at the full moon right there. So the thing about Venus with all of this, and in February, because we've got Venus conjunct with Pluto during this time, and it's caught up in the end of the Capricorn energy. So we have to really, really look at the full moon and Venus and Uranus and all those that are happening, because the full moon is actually opposing, which means it's opposite of the sun and Jupiter. So they're sort of in between kind of a thing. And so things are actually sort of hidden. So we have to sort of look at what is our reality. What are we going to believe in? This is a time where you might be questioning what you believe in, what your existence is, how you're actually functioning or want to function, and those kind of things. So that's the Pluto. And the thing is with Pluto and Venus, we want to get to the depth and the guts of what and who we are. Okay. So as the moon moves from the 28th to the 30th, now the 30th is going to be really, really a kerfuffle of a day, because on the 30th, we got two big things happening. The full moon is actually now, remember the full moon energies is about 3 days before, 3 days after. And what happens with this full moon energy on the 30th, it moves into Virgo. I'm a Virgo. You know what that means? Very analytical, very focused, very trying to figure things out. But not only on that, and we're also trying to move into Aquarian. Dang it all, we're moving into another Mercury retrograde. I hate that. Mercury retrograde, for those of you that don't know that energy. So when planets are a slower moving planet, they are super powerful, much more powerful than anything. Now, if you guys remember the last Mercury retrograde we had, it was a bugger. It was a bugger. Every low vibration, everything low that you could believe was coming out of the woodwork. So get ready, guys. It's coming. On the 30th, we got, Mercury retrograde. So we've got Aquarius moving into the sun is moving into Jupiter, and we've got all these energies. So what does that mean for those that really don't know? That means that the sun and Mars during the 30th to the 1st, it's going to be a really annoying angering time. This is a time where we actually want to step back and observe if something comes up, because this is a time where you really need to step back and really watch all the distractions from this full moon through February. Really be mindful of the distractions, because this is going to test where your values are. This full moon to the next new moon is really going to test your values, because of not only that, but the Mercury retrograde. It's going to see what you're made of, is what it's going to do, and how you're going to react and act. Now, as humans, we adapt to a lot of stuff. What we allow in, that's your choice. What we don't allow in, that's your choice. If we allow toxic in, that's your choice. If we keep the toxic out, that's your choice. This is a time to really pay attention to what you're letting in and what you're letting out, because, and what you're acting and reacting to, because you're going to get hyperactive. It's going to get hyper intense. So for those who listen to the news, I listen to the news once a day, only just to get the 5 or 10 minutes of what is actually happening out there, because it's really, is that really the truth? No, it's probably not, because what we're hearing is only what the news wants to tell us. So I don't hyperfixate on that. I have a friend that does, and I'm like, I had to shut him out, because it's very low energy, low vibrational. It's not the truth. So those kind of things are your social media, all your things for this coming up month. Is this stuff that you're really just can't get your hands off that phone? Set it down. Let the distractions go away for a little bit, because that's what's really, really important. We can adapt. So if you're beginning to freak out, you're beginning to get unsettled, this is typical energies for this full moon. Make sure that you're listening and going to your higher self, higher vibrations, all that kind of stuff. All right. There is going to be twists and turns through the rest of January and February. There's going to be a lot of what do you call that? We're trying to. This is the best way I can say it. We're stripping away the illusions. We're actually trying to get to the facts and the truth. And even if you think you have the truth, you probably will get that kerfuffled a little bit. You're like, okay, because as soon as you think you have the truth, then something's going to come up and sort of make you question it. And then once you get that, then you're going to think you have the truth again, but then something's going to come up and sort of like, no, you don't. And then something else, you're going to say, yep, I finally got it. I finally got it. Then no, something's going to come up and say, no, you really don't. That kind of a thing. So those things are going to happen. The one things that you want to do is anything this month, step back. If it's drama, step away. If it's something that creates that you need to judge and have a judgment towards, step back. Ask yourself how you're going to react with that. How are you going to move forward with that energy? Remember, even if you're a high vibrational energy person, like I am, high vibrations, high energies, I still get crap coming towards me. I have to make that decision. Do I want that low vibration in my life? Do I want that? Because if I do that, then the temptation of that low vibration trying to take me over, which it never will. However, it's going to take away my time, my energy. It's going to waste time and energy. I'll give you an example. Low vibrational person, somebody who's toxic, somebody who's sort of got an abusive mentality. It's like, oh, and they keep coming back. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. You let them back in, and then I'm do something stupid again, and then I'm sorry. It'll never happen. I don't know why I keep doing this, and you keep taking them back, taking them back. That's that low vibrational energy that you need to release and let go. You have to let go of that. But what I want you to do with this full moon and this energy during February is step back in any of your situations, close your eyes, think about it for a minute, and say, am I going to act, do, or say out of love? If I can't, then you don't do anything. That's not an energy that you want to be around. Because the thing is with love, that is a very high vibrational energy. If you cannot if you're going to buck heads with somebody that is just going to argue and fight, that is an energy that wants to crush and bring a low vibration down. These are the energies that you're going to be facing during the today forward through February, because this is a Neptune energy. And it's almost like layered realities. So you're going to have to step back, think about things, and then sometimes you might even have to close your eyes and breathe. So a lot of you guys, you'll hear me talking about breathing techniques a lot. If you're doing one-on-one coaching with me, you know that that's what I talk about. Or if you've done a one-on-one reading with me, you know that I talk about that if somebody's got anxiety, because breathing not only brings our vibrations to a more calm level, a level that we can actually begin to have more clarity and focus better and make decisions better, is that it also changes our magnetic energies as well. So I'm being an empath and feeling sensitivities of people who walk by me. That's their magnetic energy that they're putting out and back and forth, right? So during this full moon and this energy through February, this is a time where you can actually absorb somebody's really negative energies or low vibrational energies, or you can bounce them off. And this is a time where you might have to close your eyes and say, do I want this person around me? Do I need to say this right now? It's almost like picking your battles, but you need to breathe so that clarity can come in. When we breathe, it's not only for our physical being, but it is for our emotional being and our physical being. So imagine, because this is the Leo, moon in Leo, and heart, it's all about the heart through February. Then what you want to do is imagine your heart is your lungs. So what is good and light for your heart? So am I going to act, react, or do or say whatever out of love, because that's heart, that's spirit. If it is not, then you need to let the drama go away. This is going to bring your vibrations way up in February through this full moon, through this retrograde, because you're going to need that through retrograde. If you need to learn how to do some breathing techniques, email me. I will definitely share those with you because they're really, really important. I learned them when I was studying martial arts, and I use them till this day. Even I talked to my sensei, and he says, are you doing your breathing techniques? Yes, I am, because there's a lot of crap going on. So that's the full moon as far as what's going on right now. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hit some oracles here and see what the full moon energy is for the heart, leadership, and creativity for you guys. This is collective. So if it resonates with you, this is great. If it doesn't, it's not meant for you. So the divine works in giving messages to the people that need to hear it at the time that they're watching this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching it. Yeah. This is definitely it. So the first card out is the eagle. So the eagle is about spirit integrity, connection to the angelic realm. This is Hierophant. This is 2021 energy. This is something moving forward to this is going to be the year where we move to a higher spiritual level. This for you, even if you don't even believe, maybe say you're an atheist, you don't believe in that stuff, it's going to bring you to a different level, even just above that, saying, you know what, there might be something to this. So that's where that is. Now with the full moon, the spirit and the integrity, that is where I was just telling you about. You're going to have to step back. And what is your integrity? Where is your spirit to allow drama in, to allow judgment in, or leave it out? So that is for somebody. Again, this is the Hierophant year. So the divine is going to be all over this. Now, the card number for this is the number 9. The number 9 is about intensity. Intensity with the full moon. This is huge because it's a hyper moon. So the spirituality is huge, huge, huge. Now, again, the burden is on you. The burden is on you when to interact, when not to interact, because somebody's got anxiety out there. Somebody has some major anxiety out there, and you actually have to learn that that's fear, for one, but also, two, that is allowing allowing things into your life that shouldn't be there in the first place. Then it becomes a burden. It's sort of like if somebody wants to tell you their problems, you have to be ready to say, am I just going to listen, or am I going to listen and try to fix it, because that's not your job? Or am I going to try to help them when it then not only affects me, then everybody around me, say if they wanted money. So then maybe that money was for a bill for you, or maybe that money was milk money for your kids for school or whatever. So then it not only begins to help them, but it becomes a burden to you. All right. So we do have the first cards out as the World. Again, this full moon is about heart. February is about heart. This is about leadership. This is about creativity. The world is yours. However, if you look at, she's holding 2 wands. That has to do with spirituality. Also, that's why she's hanging on to them. She's really hanging on to those things. So, because that's where her spirituality is. For somebody, they got the Tower. They've got the Tower. So that is something that is going to rock your world upside down. So this is a good thing. This is something, this burden's got to go. This is Capricorn past energy. Hello, welcome, welcome. This is a past energy that has to go. Again, that is the Capricorn energy. This is something that is holding you back. Leo energy is of the heart. The heart can be actually very tricky because I didn't even look at this card that was next. Now I understand why. The heart's tricky because a lot of what we do is we hold ourselves back. I just did, gosh, whose reading did I just do? Leo's. And there's a lot of, I'm doing the full moon right now, so I won't do a reading for the full moon, but if you go into your sign, I can help you on that at the very end. Definitely. You're always welcome to ask questions, though. So the thing with the Leos was the heart, they're holding back. You're holding back, and this is the thing that is. So remember, Leo is about the heart. So somebody's been hurt. They're afraid to move forward. They're afraid to move in a direction that will actually bring them joy, peace, love, and everything. So again, that energy with the full moon, that is just a nervous energy that is afraid to move forward, is holding you back. Now, if you turn around and release that fear, get rid of that fear for the month of February, it actually is going to move you forward. Look at this. I don't make this stuff up. The divine has them fall where he wants them to fall. So this is a moving energy forward. And that moving energy forward is an opportunity with somebody, again, with a Leo, creative. This is a creative energy. The Fool is a creative energy, but it's also a pure energy. So there is something moving forward for you in that energy of love, creativeness, and everything, but you're holding yourself back. So release that negative energy. Again, like I told, I think it was Leo's or Taurus, to the divine had them write down a list of all the things they weren't going to let go. They're having a hard time letting go. So make a list. What is it for you in this full moon and through the month of February that comes to mind? The first things that come to mind, I need to let go. I need to let go of thinking about my ex. I need to these are things from the past. These are things from the past. They're holding you back from moving forward into the Aquarian energy. So that's what he wants you to do. Write them down. Now, then the second thing the divine had him do is to rate each one on the right side of that column. Which one is the heaviest? Which one are you thinking of the most? Which one is weighing on your heart the most? You put a number 1. What is next? Number 2. And you focus in on number 1 first, because that needs to go first. Once that goes, the others may follow. This is not a coaching thing from me. This is divine asking somebody to do that. So I share that with you because apparently this needs to happen for somebody to move forward. All right, because you have a pure energy. When the fool, if you look at the fool's hand, he's holding a white flower. What is white? White is purity. What is flower? Flower is nature. Nature is love. So this is and the dog is white. Dog is unconditional love. A white dog, unconditional, pure love. This is a Leo energy. All right. So let's see what happens here next. So this again is full moon. This is to the new moon. However, I really do believe that this energy is going to go through all of February because of the Mercury retrograde. All right. Yeah. So again, somebody is stuck. They're really, really stuck. They're not letting go. They're thinking about, okay, and that's why maybe the divine had me share that again with you guys, is to write that list down, because that is holding you back. You're depressed about something that is done and gone. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can change about it. That is Capricorn 2020 energy that needs to be let go. And you're focused more in on whatever that is rather than releasing it and moving forward. And if you release it and say, you know what, today I'm just going to try not to think about it. Not to think about it. And then you figure, okay, how many times did I think about it? Do the little hashtags. Okay, I thought about it 5 times. Okay, and you really thought about it too long. When you start thinking about it, you say, nope, I'm going to stop. And then you mark that down. So then the next day, you go ahead and you do the same thing. How much might I think about it? Gradually, you'll see that you less and less think about it. And that's why you need that for yourself, physical self. You need that for your physical, mental, and spiritual self to rest. Sorry, I've been doing readings all day, so my voice is getting a little hazy. And then the other thing is we've got the full moon, full moon, but we also we're manifesting what we want. We're manifesting this. Now, if you look at the magician is holding the wand. Okay? The wand is spirit. The world, she's holding the wand. What I mean by this is your decisions have to come from a spiritual base rather than an earthly base. And that's why the planets, if people really studied astrology and zodiac and everything, and even spirit all together, it's like even when they say, oh, this is going to be really shocking, upsetting, it's like it is, but it's more of a surprise than a shock, because you can see the movie play out. You can see everything before it even happens. Or I don't know, maybe it's just me and I'm gifted and I don't know. But this is the way that I see it. But manifesting what you want and what you're looking for. Again, with the full moon energy, listen to your heart. Should you say something? Should you not say something? Should you hold back? Should you move forward? Now, I always say walk in truth. And if you like somebody, and they're showing signs that they like you, then just say it. Just say, hey, I really am attracted to you. I really would like to go out with you. What do you think? If they say no, okay, no. You're not wasting their time. You're not wasting your time. You're not having that illusion in your brain about something that could be or maybe, and you're drawing it on. I just did that with somebody. We've been friends for a long time. It's like, dude, you know what? We've been friends a while, but I'm going to tell you honestly, I'm really super attracted to you. I'm just super attracted to you. And they're like, well, I like you too, but I don't see you in that way. You're my buddy. You're my friend. Okay, not a problem. I don't have to waste time sitting there worrying about if he likes me, if he, whatever. And years later, then I find out, oh, you really are never going to. Long story short, I know about behavior and all that kind of stuff. So, this is something that I do. I don't waste time. Hanging them high, 84. Hello, welcome, welcome. So this is your manifestation is all up to you. Don't do the illusion of in your mind dreaming and making a whole movie of how it could be, where it could go. Remember, this is love month. This is actually human mating season month. And so what you're going to do is you're going to set yourself up for disappointment, heartache, and things like that. Whereas your truth has to come from divine and spirit. And here's the other thing for somebody out there, you're setting yourself up for being hurt because your expectations are, oh, well, maybe we'll get together and we'll do something and maybe he'll say he really likes me or whatever. And he doesn't, or she doesn't. Then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You have to really, with this full moon, this is about the heart. February is about the heart. However, you really, really have to pay attention to the truth. Pay attention to the truth because there's going to be distractions. Major, with Mercury retrograde, major distractions. You have to really know yourself this month. You really have to get to the point of knowing yourself this month and what you want and what you want to manifest. If you want love, you have to be love. If you want money, you have to not dream money. You have to learn and educate yourself, how to work smarter, not harder, those kind of things. All right. Let's see what else there is. Because here's the thing. Remember, our first energies for this is the burden. You're putting your burden on yourself. A lot of the things with the humans is like, things don't turn out or they don't get the person they want or that kind of a thing. That is basically because of your decisions and your choices and how you make them. And a lot of people make them through earthbound base rather than spiritual base. And that's why. I've been there. So, Knight of Swords. Something's coming fast for somebody. Something's moving fast in or moving fast out. But I have a feeling this is in. This is moving in. So, and this is about truth. When you're talking about swords, that's what they're seeking is truth. And what am I talking about? This is the year of the Hierophant. This is a lesson. Thank you. So the divine's saying that this is a time of clarity. This is a time of growing and seeing things more clearly. This energy and this time is about not only seeing things clear from an earth base, but from your heart, your emotions, and your spirit. Because this month, this whole moon and the new moon coming up and the planets where they're aligning is all about your spiritual clarity. Somebody's evolving and moving up, is becoming more clear of your existence or what you're here for or what you're doing here and all those kind of things. And that is a learning thing because if you look at the Hierophant card, I don't know if it's in this one or not, but yeah, there is a student there. So there are two students. So he's teaching. And this is probably why I do what I'm doing, because the divine has me do it. He wants to teach. He wants you to understand and be more clear about your existence. And how you manifest things in your life is all by your choices. So you either choose to make wise choices or burden yourself with poor choices. And if you don't know how to do that, that's why I've joined both of my channels together, Get Balance 2020 for Life Coach, and Life Balance Coach, actually, and Purpose Coach, Spiritual Coaching, and Intuitive Coaching. I put those together because they do all work together. All right. Wow. What a reading. All right. So this was full moon. What you have to look forward to in conclusion is that it is going to be a crazy energy time. This is a time where you're going to have to just step back, hold your tongue before you say anything, do anything, because you don't want the drama, you don't want the judgments, you don't want to bring all that negative, low vibrational energy in. It is a time to get clear of what is going to happen for you and yourself, making decisions to bring your life to a better vibration, but also too to bring yourself closer to divine. This is a month where the divine is about the heart. It is about the heart. Moon in Leo, heart, 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 heart. He's not talking about leadership so much. I don't know, with all the other planets, with Venus and Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter. I won't go into all of that. However, there is such a power that is going on. There's like a power battle going on that the light is really fighting to stay high and in a high vibration, but the dark is just like, I'm here, I'm gonna follow you. It's like that shadow, that negative side of you is like, yep, I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna make you make that poor decision, I'm gonna make it, but light is saying, no you're not, no you're not, no you're not. So really, really be mindful this month in your decisions and what you're manifesting and what you're creating for your future, because again, the first card out was the eagle, and that is all about your spirit integrity. My daughter was asking me about integrity the other day. She's like, well, what is integrity? You know, she goes, Mom, is honesty part of integrity? I said, heck yes, that is a huge part of integrity, because what is it that the divine teaches us? To walk in love, truth, and righteousness. Righteousness is just basic part of your integrity, because righteousness is all about what you do when nobody's looking. So if there's candy on the table and you were told not to take it and nobody's ever going to come back, do you take the candy or do you leave it because you were told not to take it? Doesn't matter what the reason is why not to take it, but did you take it anyway because nobody was looking? That's what Spirit's asking you guys. All right, that's this month. All right. And there's lots of love this month, guys. Oh my gosh, the readings are full of love. I love it. I love it. Because he never usually talks about love. He's always talking about working on yourself. And it's like nice to have some love in there. So I hope you guys have fun with that this month. You know, and be a risk taker, you know, especially if you've been hurt in love. You cannot bring that hurt into a new relationship. You cannot compare an old relationship to a new relationship. That is definitely a huge, huge no-no, because you're not giving that beautiful, loving energy to come to you a fair shake. All right. So I thank you guys for coming in and saying hello. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it when my viewers come in and say hello. Hopefully something resonated with you. This just hold on tight. This Mercury retrograde's back. And when those planets are moving slow, which Mercury does, they're extremely powerful. So if you're hitting a lot of negative energies this 30th into February, just start lifting yourself up. Do something that you need to do for yourself to lift yourself up. If you need to take a deep breath, don't get in that fight. Don't get in that argument. Take a deep breath, step back, diffuse it, go walk outside, go sit in the car, go hug nature, hug a pet, hug a tree, go to the ocean. Do whatever it is, because Mercury's here for a while, and that is going to bring low vibrational energies sort of up. So you are going to have, again, decisions to make in what you want to do. This is going to change your life. Somebody's going to do a 180 this February, and it's going to change your life for the better. I would love to hear your story. I would love to see how February changes your life, brings you to a higher spiritual. Please comment. Please say, you know, share with me. I would love to hear your stories. This what makes what I do so well worth it. I don't do it for money. I do it to see that people change their lives to a better, successful life for whatever their journey is. So I hope you have a great month. We will do another new moon reading when that comes up. And otherwise, check out your signs. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, bring a friend, share with a friend. It's a newer channel, so just share. I love for people to come up. And also, all my readings are live, so you're very welcome at that time to ask questions, or and I do answer them at the end. So I hope that you come into your sign, share, tell your friends to come and visit, see if they like my weirdness, my energies, that kind of a thing. And I try not to coach, but sometimes I do. It's just part of who I am. But you can go on my website. I do one-on-one readings. I do also one-on-one nutrition and health and life and all that kind of stuff. Go on the website or just email me or give me a comment and let me know. All right. See you guys soon. And don't forget to check your readings. All right. Take care, guys.